You're the saviors. October 28, 2014. Everyone who's discovered spirit and works to raise awareness of the spiritual nature of your existence is in an important position to start creating real and lasting change, and you're all needed and important contributors to your ongoing conscious revolution. Realizing your value and the importance of the things you've come to Earth to do is essential to successfully doing them. And when you can empower yourselves and each other to start contributing to your conscious revolution in a real and pure way, you'll accelerate your ascension timetable and help create a wealth of needed and important changes. Everything you're doing is intended to help the conscious community and the rest of humanity find a higher vibration and use the inspiration that results to start changing your planet. And the more motivated and enthusiastic you are about creating the changes you've come to Earth to create, the more you'll naturally get done. One of the best things we can recommend for any seeker who wants to use their creativity or anything else to change the planet is not to censor yourselves, not to set limits for yourselves, be it in the avenue of what you talk about, what you advocate, or the work you've come to Earth to do. Transcending obstacles. Transcend any limits or obstacles that stand in your way of fulfilling your purpose for being on the earth at this time, and do it with love in your hearts and the willingness not to let yourselves be hindered in any way. With all of the amazing and paradigm-shattering things you now have the potential to do, you have little reason not to embrace your growing creativity and the greater perception that comes with it, and we know many of you are particularly excited to begin using your creativity to change your planet. Creativity really will lead you back into the higher realms, but you have to be willing to embrace it wholeheartedly when you could otherwise embrace the finite or materialistic aspects of your earthly existence that keep you chained to the lower vibrations and stop you from making any real or significant inner or outer progress. We note that it can be very easy to feed the constant wants and demands of the ego, but with all of the revolutionary things you have the potential to do, to continue feeding it would be akin to sitting down with a healthy meal and eating the cookies on the other side of the table instead. You have no more reason to feed the ceaseless lower vibrational wants and desires of the ego, and instead, you can embrace the awareness that's leading you each to make positive and progressive choices in your lives, be it in the area of your health, how you treat others, or anything else. With every choice you make, you can either take a higher or lower route, and the choice is yours. You are granted universal, inalienable free will to enjoy in the lower realms, and you can use this free will to feed the light or the dark. You can use your free will to feed the ego and the materialistic concerns associated with it, or you can feed the loving energies and perceptions your expanding hearts will introduce and reintroduce you to. We know by this point that most of you know which decisions are in your best interest to pursue, but we'd never seek to stop you from making the choices that you feel are best. If you feel like feeding the ego for any reason, then we can't stop you from deciding this for yourselves. Nor would we want to, because even though you're ascending into a higher state of consciousness, you still have the free will to do, be and experience whatever you choose for yourselves. You'll experience the consequences for whatever choice you make, and those of you who seek daily alignment with the divine are noticing that the higher choices you make render positive consequences, whereas the negative choices render negative consequences that drag on your spirit and your sense of wholesomeness. The food you choose to consume is very important, for example, and one of the greatest things we can recommend is to choose foods that help your body progress and excel. A lot of your man-made food is artificial to say the least and inedible to say the most, but you aren't without the ability to consume healthier foods. Even though some souls haven't yet realized this, the food you consume determines how you'll feel shortly after you consume it. And many of you can notice that eating junk foods naturally and gradually puts you on a lower vibration, whereas eating foods that are filled with light and nutrition help you feel far better and more clear-headed. We wholeheartedly recommend every seeker who wants to refine the higher realms choose the healthiest and most light-filled foods that'll help them lighten their vibration and eventually ascend, and if you eat healthily all your life, you'll notice that you live much longer. You'll also notice that your health doesn't diminish, and you can be 70 years old and still enjoy activities 20-year-olds enjoy. It all comes down to what you choose to put into your bodies, and the people who descend into poor health later in life usually do so because of their eating habits. We can't express enough that the things you put into your evolving bodies are very important, and if you want your sacred temples to be light enough to assimilate the incoming vibrations that'll steadily yet surely adjust you to a purer frame of mind and heart, you'll want to be as light and healthy as possible. You can also call on Spirit every day or in every moment so you can be filled with the constant spiritual perception. Continuously seeking Spirit. From our perspective, there's nothing wrong with continuously seeking Spirit throughout the day, and it doesn't have to point to an attempt to escape reality or find a way out of the stress and difficulties so many of you tend to experience. Yes, many seekers do use Spirit as a means to escape your physical reality, but the best thing you can keep in mind is that your physical reality, while filled with pain, fear, stress and every other destructive quality under the sun, is still spiritual. Instead of using Spirit to escape your reality, you can use it to enjoy your reality far more than you would have ever thought or expected. Spirit will help you see that everything, even the considerably darker or more negative aspects of your existence, is filled with love, positivity, and every other quality that's leading you back into the higher realms. Everything around you is filled to the brim with love, you simply haven't realized it yet. We are confident that all of humanity will realize this in due time, and the sooner you realize it, the sooner you can begin to consciously fill yourselves with the love and light that exist in every sacred spark of consciousness around you. Everything around you is love, and everything around you is consciousness. You couldn't possibly be separate from Spirit or the higher vibration descending onto your minds and hearts, because they make up everything in existence. Everything, every situation you face and every emotion you feel, whether positive or negative, is comprised of Spirit, and realizing this is the first step to enjoying your lives in the manner you've always been meant to. Life isn't meant to be a drag on your sense of well-being or enjoyment, and life on earth can be heavenly if you let it. Even though you'll eventually greet the presence of otherworldly civilizations who are physically spiritually evolved and have a lot of wisdom and insight to share with you, their assistance isn't inherently required to start creating change. Our scribes recently felt torn between having us discuss the galactics and various other subjects that point to outside assistance with your affairs, and having us encourage you to seek empowerment without looking to others to save you, because he, like many seekers, recognizes that humanity is responsible for making the planetary changes that need made. Yes, you'd benefit a lot from the things your galactic family has to offer, but instead of focusing solely on them, you can focus on the things you can do right now and in every moment to make the changes that so desperately need made to the broken and corrupt manner in which your planet functions. While we understand and empathize with the fact that many seekers look to the galactics or another omnipotent spiritual force to help you make the changes that need made, we too will encourage you to look to yourselves and each other to determine what you can do to change your planet. You can do more than you think, and your galactic family has no desire or ability to exist on your surface before your collective vibration is significantly purified. They aren't about to swoop down and save you from the mess your species has made, but they offer a wealth of assistance from the higher realms that's related to various aspects of your ongoing ascension. They intend to help you gain a new perspective and use it to lighten your collective vibration, and you can open up to them and begin receiving their insight if you're particularly willing or attuned. Transforming the Earth is your responsibility. They're doing a lot for your planet from behind the veil, but for now, humanity's intended to arise as a solid collective unit and begin changing your planet. If you don't, nobody will, because it isn't necessarily the responsibility of the galactics or the rest of the company of heaven to start changing your world. We see it as a duty and a sacred responsibility in many ways, and we're doing everything we can to assist you, but we still look to you to do what you can to help all of humanity see that Spirit exists and can be constantly tapped into, to produce a universally pure spiritual creative flow that'll help you with every progressive and significant thing you do. With the immense potential you now have to come together and drastically raise the collective vibration, You needn't look to any outside force to make life on your planet better for you. You're the force that's intended to make your lives better, and we don't just mean this for the world stage, we mean this for your personal lives as well. Many seekers, including our scribe, have looked to the galactics or the company of heaven in general at one point or another as figures who'll come down and change everything about your lives that you don't enjoy, and we say with love that this isn't our goal in the sense that many of you would expect. It's our goal in the sense that we seek to connect with you via your intuition and help you make the personal and collective changes that need made before you can be filled with the Spirit and enjoy the flowing perceptual bounties that result. But we don't seek to come to your planet and proclaim that all of your trials and hardships are over. You're meant to be tested with nearly constant challenges that help you grow into newer, purer and more refined versions of yourselves, and will happily help you through every challenge and obstacle you meet on the ascension path. The point we intend to convey is that our direct assistance will come from within instead of from without for now. And it's essential that you empower yourselves with the understanding that you're far more than you've given yourselves credit for. You're nothing less than divine, omnipotent beings of pure consciousness who've come to the earth to start making changes, and instead of looking solely to your higher selves, your guides or any higher dimensional soul to create personal or planetary changes, recognize that you are the divine force that's come to the earth to change things. You've come to bring your lives into alignment with Spirit in the greatest way possible, and many of you have come to show the way for the rest of humanity to do the same when their awareness grows and they recognize the importance of aligning with the divine and living for love. We'll make our final expressions for this communication with encouragement to see just how spiritually powerful you truly are. Even though some seekers don't resonate with the idea of power because it's come to be associated with corruption and various other negative and limiting qualities, true, raw spiritual power isn't something to turn away from. It's something to embrace, and it can only be embraced with a significant degree of love in your hearts and willingness in your minds. Embrace your greater spiritual power and the perceptual enhancement that comes with it, and know that you're endlessly loved, guided and supported by myriad higher dimensional souls who seek to positively influence you from within. You'll achieve your purpose with a wealth of inner assistance, and when you look back on the experiences you had on the earth from the higher realms, you'll be glad you empowered yourselves. You'll be glad you stepped up to the plate and started offering yourselves to your planetary restoration, because you'll see that you contributed to the creation of all of the changes that needed made before you could enjoy a brimming galactic society that hosts the presence of various higher dimensional civilizations who've waited for you all to arise and embrace the light. We're real, we're here and we can be communicated with, but we aren't the saviors some seekers assume we are. You're the saviors, and with your potent and divinely inspired efforts, you'll save the earth and everyone on it from the thoughts, feelings and actions that have resulted from the lower vibrations you're all enmeshed in. Thank you to my higher self and spiritual guides. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com